Okay, it is 3:01 on Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. Like to call to order the April meeting of the Board of Fire Commissioners. We have a quorum with Commissioner Destruge and Mayor Rilling. First item on the agenda is acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting of Tuesday, March 19th,
So moved.
2024. Moved. Any corrections, deletions, or omissions?
Nope.
I have some corrections, Mayor, on that.
Okay, Assistant Chief McCabe.
On page 2, under Assistant Fire Chief of Operations, item A, structure fire. The sentence which reads, residents were evacuated as the first fire companies arrive. Have you smoke should be changed to heavy smoke.
Okay.
And residents should be the plural of resident. So residents were evacuated.
Residents.
Right. Okay.
On page 3, first paragraph, there should be no period between command and staff.
Okay.
In the second paragraph, item B, the initial call reported a fire, says on the kitchen, should be in the kitchen. And the sentence, significant smoke and heat damage on the first and second floors left the house, I'm fit, should be changed to unfit for occupancy. And finally, fourth paragraph, item D, it should read additional interviews are planned to add to their class, which will come on shift in late May. And those are all the corrections I have. And those look like those might have just been the voice to text issues.
Yes.
Okay. Let's make a note that at 3:02, Commissioner Paskind has joined us. So all in favor of the minutes as corrected?
So moved.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, the carries. There are no action items. Who will be handling the fire chief's report? I know Chief Gatto is on vacation.
He is. I'll be handling Chief Gatto's report today.
Okay.
So in the month of March, in the categories of salary, overtime, and expenses, we were within budget on all of those items. And that closes out the first 3 quarters of the budget year. Going into the fourth quarter, we are currently running at an 8.9% budget surplus. And
very
under
nice.
injuries,
Very nice.
yes, under injuries, there was no lost time attributed to new injuries in the month of March, I'm glad to say. And that concludes the chief's report.
Okay. Any questions for?
No
chief's
questions. Glad to hear that the injuries are down. Or that there were none.
Very good. Okay, that brings us to the Assistant Fire Chief of Administration. Assistant Chief McCabe. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Assistant Chief Conti.
Good afternoon. So just a few updates on some projects. The stational learning system upgrade, we're actually we're making some headway now. We went through a round of testing last week, and Thursday, I believe we have it should be the final testing, and then we can start our cutover testing. So the goal is to get us over to the new system by the end of May. We're definitely taking our time on that because that's obviously such a crucial, that's the stational learning system. And we want to make sure there are no problems with it before we do our cutover. So, but it is moving well. For our buildings updates, Station 1 apparatus floor, I actually obtained the last pricing. So we're going to put in to conduct soil testing and the slab inspection to find out the scope of work we need to repair that slab. I've been working with Bill Ireland from the building department on that. And I'll have some more information in it should be the next month or so. I'm trying to see if we can, right now I'm looking into our budget because we do have a surplus, see if we can basically, what we have to do is it's 2 steps. We have to do the soil testing and the slab inspection, and this will actually determine the scope of work for the big job. So this is a smaller job. This is about $20,000 worth of work that and I'm looking into within our budget right now. And then we can come and I can give you a better idea of how the condition of the slab and how to correct it properly. But I'm looking into that right now. I hopefully have some more for you next month on that. The Station 3 apparatus floor, we've made some good ground. We have our basic design, and I'm working with the engineer to get he's basically submitting, we're submitting for the RFP to try to get a contractor, and hopefully that's going to be happening in the next month or so, that we can get that RFP out and contract a contractor to get that slab started. For Station 5, the bathroom renovation is complete. I attached a few pictures. Any questions on any of those?
No questions. The bathrooms, they look really great. Thank you.
Thanks.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, they
Commissioner
came out.
Pascaine, any questions?
No, I'm following along.
Okay,
Doing wonderful work.
so now we come to the Assistant Fire Chief of Operations,
Okay,
Assistant Chief McCabe.
thank you, Mayor. Under operations, item A was a notable call, which occurred on March 20th. Just after 5 p.m. in the afternoon, 3 vessels that were operated by the Saugatuck Rowing Club became swamped in a sudden squall, which put 19 individuals in 40-degree water without life vests. So very serious situation. Fortunately, all the marine assets in the area were mobilized, including Fire Department Marine 238 and Norwalk PD Marine Unit, the Coast Guard, and due to that effort, all the rowers were safely rescued. Much to the thanks of Westport PD and Westport Fire, but it underlines the necessity of watching the weather and having proper flotation, especially when people are out on the water this early in the season when the water temperatures are so low. So we're happy to report that had a happy ending, although it was a very serious incident. Item B, Norwalk Fire Department's response SOP for King Industries has been updated, and a regional tabletop exercise has been planned with the folks down at King to coordinate, as we always do, with their on-site fire and safety department. Item C, graduation day at Connecticut Fire Academy is Wednesday, May 22nd. Norwalk's 3 graduates will join lateral hires to form a class of 8 new firefighters, and their first day on the job will be May 23rd. And finally, item D, after discussions with dispatch supervisors and receiving feedback from the members on the line, radio guidelines for the new state radio system have been finalized and are now in effect, and seem to be operating more smoothly. Under calls for the month of March, we had 671 incidents, averaging just under 22 per day. We had 27 fires, including 2 building fires, 38 rescues, 29 of which were MVAs. We responded to 392 EMS calls, 21 hazardous conditions, 26 service calls, 115 fire alarms, and 52 good intent. So cumulative statistics from January through the end of March for 2024, we are at 1,903 incidents and 2,965 total responses. I can take any questions.
That's interesting. It looks like you have less this year than you did last year.
Yeah, we started off the year slowly, so the incidents are a bit down, but I can say in March they've begun to level off. So I expect with the summer coming and people being out and about, we'll likely be right back where we were last year.
Yeah, because now you're averaging 22 calls a day. Last year, I think at one point you're averaging 19 a day.
Correct.
So you're up for the average daily calls.
Yes.
My memory may be failing, but I seem to think that this is the first time I've seen a decrease in the number of calls and responses.
Yes, it's, it does fluctuate throughout the year, and the first couple months of the year tend to be a little bit slower. So I think that's what we can attribute that to. But as I said, in March, it began to level off. So I would not be surprised in the next month or two that we see ourselves either even or back above normal.
Thank you.
Chief, I'm curious about the water rescue, which sounds like you guys did amazing work. Sounds really scary. How often do you have marine rescues? And is this a large one compared to other ones that you've had?
Well, this one was larger, just for the number of individuals that were in the water. So you had a rowing team from Saugatuck that was out on the water doing their after school practice, which was normal for them. But because the weather changed so quickly, the waves swamped 3 of their sculls, which put the 19 individuals in the water.
Wow.
I believe 9 of them were able to swim to shore, and another 10 were rescued. And a few went to the hospital for hypothermia, but no one was admitted. So it
Mhm.
was, with water being that cold, you're not going to be able to be in the water for very long and maintain muscle function. So it was a very serious call, and really a tribute to the fact that the marine assets in the region were mobilized so quickly and were able to work together so well that was a successful outcome. But we're out on the water quite a bit. I can put together some statistics for the last few years if you'd like for next month as far as the number of rescues. This is probably the largest one we've had in quite a while.
Yeah, I don't need to create extra work for you. I was just
No, not at all.
curious. Thank you.
Very good.
Any other questions? Thank you, Assistant Chief McCabe.
Actually,
Yep.
Mayor, I'm sorry. I was actually
Oh.
at that call. I went as safety, and well, I can tell you that the majority of the kids actually, not the majority, but a good half of them swam back to shore.
Mhm.
They kind of landed at the beach in Westport, and our Marine unit was in a search pattern with also the Norfolk police boats were both out there. So there was a pretty Herculean effort on the part of Norwalk helping them out there. I don't believe anybody was actually put on any of our boats, but they were out there doing a search pattern, and they were able to account for all the swimmers pretty quickly. So we were actively involved in the search, even though it ended well. There's only, I think, 3 transported to the hospital, and the rest of them were released to their parents. So, and the ones that were transported with mild hypothermia symptoms, and they were released pretty quickly. So that's a little bit more on it, because I was just standing at the command post during it. So
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
That brings us to the fire marshal's report. Who's handling that? I saw Fire Marshal McDonald is online. I don't know if he's listed as an attendee.
I know he's here, Mayor. Let me go check and see if he needs a computer to sit at, and I will let him come into my office. I'll go check.
All right, so why don't we move on while you're doing that? Move on to emergency management, Mr. Luca.
Great, thank you. So we actually had a nor'easter, earthquake, and eclipse all in 1 week. So hopefully we were done with that for a while. But again, for the most part, a lot of social media, some calls for the earthquake. But again, quickly addressed since it was in New Jersey, not really local. Assistant Chief or Deputy Chief Capola, myself, and a few others completed the ICS 400 today, which is one of the FEMA updated courses. So that was actually good that we were able to get those done locally. Working with Food Rescue, which has been a partner for us, actually going back to COVID. Working with Food Rescue and Public Works, we were able to take delivery of an 18-wheeler full of cantaloupes today at Public Works. So Chris's crews were able to unload very quickly, and then about 35 agencies came through from all over the region to pick up donations for their clients. In total, it was about 50,000 pounds of donated goods, which again, thanks to all the partnerships that we have, we're able to get into the hands of people that really do need them.
Wonderful.
We have the state disaster exercise coming up on June 12th, which will be an election security focused event. And then we were in the process of making the switch to Everbridge for our mass notification services. So that was approved at the April 9th Common Council meeting, and it just has to work its way through the paperwork. But the goal is to be able to make the switch for July 1 when our Code Red service ends. And that's it.
Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you. Any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay. Now we'll go back to the fire marshal's report. I see we've been joined by Assistant Fire Marshal Kirk McDonald.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. So the summary for March, we had a total of 233 inspections, 21 notifications, couple pub ed events that's starting up now, springtime. Plan reviews were at 34 for a total of 2950, and liquor licenses, 6 of them for 390, with just over 3,000, 3,300 total income for the month. So number of investigations fire marshal's office got called out for. We had 12 fires and 6 code issues for a total of 18 call outs. And the majority of those, I shouldn't say the majority, but the code issues were primarily code violation issues, whether it be electrical issues or things of that nature. I do want to make a comment as put in the noteworthy section this month for the inspections. So for the month of March, we started a group effort with the inspectors doing some of the large scale multi-family occupancies, the waypoints, the Avalons, those large structures. So we had been following the lead of one of our part-timers who started setting this up. And so the total of inspections that I initially said in the summary, 233. Well, some of these large facilities actually have over 200 apartments in them. So of those that we have accomplished for March, we had over 1,600 individual apartments inspected.
Mm,
Ah. Very good.
Any questions?
excellent. Wow, amazing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Seeing no questions, we'll move on to Deputy Chief Capola for the Training Division report.
Okay, good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. For the month of March, some of the things, well, actually, some things are currently going on. We're continuing orienting our newer members on driving and pump operating. We are continuing to reinforce skills on driver training on Truck 1. That's the tiller that is relatively new to Station 1. We're continuing to orient and make sure our members are aware of our radio system while we work through familiarization. We spent a week when we had that really bad weather for a straight week. We were able to get all 4 shifts through search and rescue operations in our training mezzanine at Station 2. That was great. We've been doing a lot of with the spring coming up. We've been doing a lot of vehicle extrication training, and notably, we are working with Norwalk EMS on orienting their personnel on how we operate at motor vehicle accidents that have extrications of people inside cars. So that's actually this week. That happened Monday, and it's happening again on Friday. And then we've been doing, again, more stuff with Walk Bridge site. There's a water safety drill tomorrow that they're doing that I'm just going to go myself as an advisor for the fire department. It's a multi-agency kind of thing. It's pretty much their own thing, but they want fire department representation. So I'll be doing that. Completed training activities for the month of March. We did building construction tours at that large building project on West Avenue, the apartment building. We were able to walk through the entire building and get a good orientation of it while it's being framed out. We did a 4 days in a row, all 4 shifts of an evolution called Firefighter Down CPR. And that's basically a skill we hope we never have to use, but in the event that a firefighter does go down and needs CPR, being in their full turnout gear and SCBA, there's kind of a technique on how to get them out of that gear so they can be issued, adequate CPR. So we practice that.
Mm.
Aerial trucks have been doing some aerial operation maneuvers at the Norden vacant building site. We've been doing some multi-company pump operating off-site. That means like would have more than just one engine there. We'd have 2 engines together, training together, as would really happen in a real fire. The Marine Division has been training with navigational electronics. Again, season is upon us for more boating. So refresher on that is always in order. We trained all the, myself and Jack Kelly from the Fire Marshal's office trained about 75 people, workers at the Walk Bridge construction site, and how to use fire extinguishers. And we used our prop that we have for that, the electronic fire extinguisher prop. Master stream operations, utilizing deck gun operations. That's another drill we did with all the ships. And we had a guest speaker come in from New York City Fire Department on a it's basically called Fireground Performance. The chief that wrote the program is a friend of mine, and I brought him in to kind of give us an orientation of that and some ways decisions are made on a fire ground by firefighters and officers. So that was a great day of training. Hopefully I could duplicate that again soon. And then finally, upcoming, we are going to be doing a confined space drill again with Middlesex Construction at the bridge. That's going to be great for our members to refresh on that skill. Physicals are underway. We are almost done with the 4 days of blood draws, and physicals had actually started today. Our first 2 physicals were done today. So early results on that are the members who went said it was very efficient and thorough. So I'm really happy about that. Like Michelle said, we finished ICS 400 today. Myself, Michelle, and firefighter Pete Chilla completed that. And then we're hosting the pump operators class next month. We have 2 of our members that are host seats, meaning they're free. They don't have to be, they're not charged for the class. And we're going to be starting hazardous materials operational refresher, and that's in the planning phase. I have one more thing on my report. I just wanted the commissioners to be aware that we did file a SAFER grant. That's the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response. The grant was submitted to FEMA by myself and Reed and Igre on April 10th for 4 firefighter positions to bring the staffing of Rescue 2 to 1 officer and 3 firefighters per shift instead of 1 officer and 2 firefighters per shift. The amount of the grant is $1,037,742.88. Covers the 4 firefighters for a period of 3 years, and there is no cost share or cost match if awarded. And that's my report for the month. Any questions?
A lot of good training and very comprehensive report. Any questions from the commissioners?
No
comments?
questions. Just well done as always, and congratulations on completing the ICS 400 to all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of those details.
Okay, so there's no local 830 report, no old business, no new business, correspondence, none. Now we have an exciting announcement under personnel. Who's going to handle that? Don't be afraid. So on behalf of the Police Fire Commission, we will congratulate firefighter Madeline Jankowski on the birth of her twin boys. Looks like we have 2 firefighters in the making in a few years, 21 years from now, and they'll attend mom's retirement maybe, and then she'll swear them in as new firefighters.
They look great.
Congratulations. Very exciting.
Assistant Chief McCabe, anything else?
No, I think that that covers everything, Mayor.
Okay.
All right.
That being said, it is 3:25 and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay. Commissioner DeStrews moves. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3:25. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the week.
Thank you, you too.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, Mayor.